When we talk about millennials, we're usually referring to those who were born from 1980 to 2000, older teens to those not quite 40. And now is the time this group needs to start planning their financial futures. Wealth Management Advisor John Iezzi is here with a few tips that they and all of us can use to get on track and stay on track. Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. When we talk about millennials and their relationship to money and finances, what sets them apart from everybody else?
Well, I think today that there's just a clear conflict between their aspiration to want to save for their financial futures and their, frankly, splurging on things today. There's just this clear conflict. So you got the kind of devil and angel on your shoulder approach to money today that really is problematic.
So the thought process for them basically is, I want it, I'm going to get it now, and I'll worry about how to pay for it later.
Absolutely. So the key is them having some sort of game plan, financial game plan earlier in life, and create better habits.
You talk to them and you tell them, if you start saving now, by the time you're ready for retirement, you could be a millionaire. But that doesn't quite sink in that they need that time horizon.
Yeah, it's difficult for them to understand the power of compounding money. And the necessity to save earlier in life. My favorite phrase is there's no perfect day for them to start saving. So the earlier they start creating good habits, then the more likely they'll have a sound financial future.
So square one for them and for all of us really seems to be knowing and understanding our money and setting a budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually setting short-term budget goals is very, very important. Sticking to them and really giving yourself some niceties if you meet those financial goals to kind of give you a reward is very, very important. But setting short-term goals is very, very important.
What about the long-term goals? Because we did talk about that time horizon. And in order to get to those long-term goals, sometimes it takes a little bit more maneuvering, doesn't it?
It does. It's very, very important that you really focus on having a financial plan around those long-term goals, because you've got really two objectives. One is protecting the things that are important to you, i.e. insurance and whatnot, and then also grow wealth for the future. So there's a conflict there, and so having a clear vision and a path for that's very, very important.
What are some other steps that millennials and all of us can take in ensuring our financial security?
Well, first of all is really understanding where you stand. A lot of people don't understand where they are with their income, assets and liabilities. That's very, very important. The more clarity you have around those particular topics, then the better financial decisions you'll make and the more comfort you'll have in making those decisions.
And we also have to understand that if we make a mistake, we can always correct it and keep moving forward. We don't have to say, oh, that sets me all the way back to square one.
Yeah, it is interesting that because of their ages that they're at today, one might say that I can afford to make financial mistakes. It's the compounding of that over time that matters. So it's very, very important that they make a financial plan and stick to that plan as best they can. If they do make mistakes, try to get out from those mistakes as soon as possible.
And financial literacy is so important because when we talk about millennials, we say that, there's some of the older teens, 18, 19 years old. That's the time that parents should really be teaching them about how to handle their money, how to set a budget, how to maybe look at investments and to help secure their future.
Absolutely. It's very, very important that from what our parents' generations, that how they develop good financial habits and trying to instill those in our children today are very, very important. It's difficult with all the social media and things that are out there. It's very, very difficult. There's lots of challenges that millennial generation has, and so it's very, very important that they take advantage of those opportunities the best they can.
So, John, if you had to give us one takeaway from today's conversation, what would it be?
I'd say that it's very important that you start early, pay yourself first, and do the best you can to live life as you would like it.
I like that. That's great advice, John. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year.